1 Top 60 phim Hey, OM and number 7929, Trung, Han Siu Hot, M and number 7899, INH and number 7845, T 2022 Tren, Top 60 phim Hey M and number 7899, INH and number 7845, T, and number 273, Ang Hot Tren Netflix 2022. Kungsum phim L and number 7867, Hey, Han and number 273, and number 7897, NG Bomb T and number 7845, NM and number 7929, Phim Trui and number 7873, N Hin Han Chu and number 7889, C, Phim C and number 7893, Trang Trung Chu and number 7889, C, 2. Top 20 Phim Han and number 272, and number 7897, NG Chi and number 7871, UR and number 7841, P 2022, NH and number 7919, NGB and number 7897, Phim L and number 7867, Hey, B and number 7897, Phim LA TAC PH and number 7849, MTH and number 7913, T and number 432, V and number 7873, KV and number 7853, T Godzilla 2 HNG Phim Hollywood and number 273, INH and number 273, MS and number 7843, NSU and number 7845, T Kauchu and number 7879, NK and number 7875, V and number 7873, TR and number 7853, NG and number 7871, NGI and number 7919, A Phi and number 273, and number 7889, IL and number 7853, P Godzilla VA Kong S and number 7921, 3. Top 22 Phim Chi and number 7871, UR and number 7841, P 2021 Hey and number 273, Angmong Chapter and number 7901, NH and number 7845, T, Momo rating 5, 0, 674, 4. Top 100 Phim Hey NH and number 7845, TM and number 7885, ITH and number 7901, I and number 273, and number 7841, I, Harper's Bazaar Vietnam 7 August 2021 1. 100 Phim Hey NH and number 7845, TM and number 7885, ITH and number 7901, I and number 273, and number 7841, I, Not Tuesday Shawshank and number 8211, The Shawshank Redemption, 1994, 2. B and number 7889, Gia and number 8211, The Godfather, 1972, 3. K and number 7925, S and number 297, Bong and number 273, M and number 8211, The 5. Top 100 Phim Hey NH and number 7845, TM and number 7885, ITH and number 7901, I and number 273, and number 7841, I and number 273, and number 432, and number 7907, CNG and number 432, and number 7901, ISM and number 273, Ongia CAO 31 March 2022, 2.4. 12B and number 7897, Phim Han and number 273, and number 7897, NGNGH and number 7865, TTH and number 7903, TR and number 7903, V and number 7873, T and number 432, and number 417, NG Li, N and number 259, M 1985, BY and number 7879, T and number 273, and number 7897, IBAO Thursday, CU and number 7897, C Chi and number 7871, NVOC and number 7921, C, N and number 259, M 2018, V and number 7909, and M and number 7841, NG Na Ben, N and number 259, M 1954, 6. Top 116B and number 7897, phim kin and number 273, I and number 7875, NB and number 7845, TH and number 7911, and number 273, Angzam NH and number 7845, TM and number 7885, ITH and number 7901, I and number 273, and number 7841, I, Pops 25 June 2021 1. The Shawshank Redemption and number 8211, Not Tuesday Shawshank, 1994, 2. The Godfather and number 8211, B and number 7889, Gia, 1972, 3. The Godfather 2 and number 8211, B and number 7889, Gia 2, 1974, 5. 12 Angry Men 7. Top 16 Phim Hay NH and number 7845, T 2021 Dan Cho Kak Tin and number 273, and number 7891, Me Phim, Coolmate 1. The Green Knight and number 8211, L and number 7909, CK and number 7925, S and number 297, 2. The Mitchells vs. 3. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings and number 8211, Shang-Chi va Hui and number 7873, Entho and number 7841, ITH and number 7853, Piluan, 4. Rhea and the Last 8. Top Phim M and number 7899, Izam Phim Online Phim Viet Sub HD Phim Enhan, Zum Phim M and number 7899, IME and number 7877, N-Phi Enhan Chapter and number 7845, TL and number 432, and number 7907, NGCAO. Zumfim Online VI and number 7879, T-Sub, TWI and number 7871, T-Min, L and number 7891, NG Titanium and number 7871, NG Chapter and number 7845, TL and number 432, and number 7907, NGHD Zumfim Enhan Online Chapter and number 7845, TL and number 432, and number 7907, NGCA09. 23B and number 7897, Phim Hay NH and number 7845, TM and number 7885, ITH and number 7901, I and number 272, and number 7841, IB and number 7841, Nanzam at NH and number 7845, TM and number 7897, TL and number 7847, N, 1. Phim and number 7842, O. Thursday and number 7853, Tgia and number 272, and number 7845, Utri, The Prestige, 2. Tien Na and number 272, N, Black Swan, 3. L and number 7841, CL and number 7889, I and number 7903, Tokyo, Lost in Translation 4. Chuyi and number 7879, N Taolao, Pulp Fiction, 5. B and number 7843, Y10. Top 20 B and number 7897, Phim Kin and number 273, I and number 7875, NB and number 7845, TH and number 7911, and number 273, Angzam NH and number 7845, TM and number 7885, ITH and number 7901, I and number 273, and number 7841, I1M and number 7843, NH Kin Huang and number 8211, The Conjuring, 2013, 2B and number 7889, Gia and number 8211, The Godfather, 1972, 3 Chuyi and number 7879, N Taolao and number 8211, Pulp Fiction, 1994, 4 NG and number 432, and number 7901, IT and number 7889, T, K and number 7867, X and number 7845, UVA 10 VOL and number 7841, I and number 8211, the 11. 35B and number 7897, Phim Trung Chu and number 7889, C Hey B and number 7841, N Co TH and number 7875, and number 8220, K and number 8221, Tren Netflix, Klug 21 January 2022 1. Ma and number 272, and number 7841, O. T and number 7893, S and number 432, TR and number 7847, N Tin L and number 7879, NH, The Untamed 2. Han S and number 7903, Trui and number 7873, NK and number 7923, Hey Han S and number 7903, Tran Hung, King's War 3. G and number 7917, ITH and number 7901, Itan Xian Na ETH and number 417, T and number 432, and number 417, I12. Top 9 Phim Kin D and number 7883, Hey VA and number 273, Angzam NH and number 7845, TM and number 7885, ITH and number 7901, I and number 273, and number 7841, I1. The Conjuring, Am and number 7843, NH Kin Huang 2. Get Out, TR and number 7889, Anthoid 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8.13. Top Phim Hey THVL, THVLead.vn and number 272, AI Fat Ton VA Trui and number 7873, N Hin V and number 297, NH Long 14. Top NH and number 7919, NGB and number 7897, Phim L and number 7867, Hey NH and number 7845, TM and number 7885, ITH and number 7901, I and number 273, and number 7841, I, Kongzam Phi C and number 7843, and number 273, and number 7901, I 27 January 2022 1. The Eternals 2. Godzilla vs. Kong 3. Fast and Amp, Furious 9 4. Black Widow 5. Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage 6. Spider-Man, No Way Home 7.15. Top 30 Phim Tin C and number 7843, M Chi and number 7871, UR and number 7841, P Hey NH and number 7845, T Makak M and number 7885, T Phim Kong, rating 4, 2, 5.